Mr. Allyn Walker.
Hey, Nico.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on, by the way. Appreciate it. Shout out Hakar as well for the support.
Absolutely.
So you did mention you have a conference this week, is that correct?
Yeah, actually tomorrow I'm spending some time with a client, all day with them. Adapt and grow is what we're talking about. And then they're having me do a keynote to finish it out.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So wait, where do you live full-time then?
So full-time I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, but I'm managing partner for the Southeast for Dale Carnegie. So Nashville, Atlanta, and Orlando are the spaces that I come to.
Perfect. Yeah, tell us a little bit more for those of us that don't know you, what you do. Who are you and what is that you do?
Yeah, that's awesome. So Allyn Walker. So I'm managing partner for Dale Carnegie of the Southeast. I've worked for Dale Carnegie for 31 years. Yeah, I know I could not get another job.
Wow.
But it to me, I connected with it really early. In fact, I was actually in college when I first took a Dale Carnegie course. And for those of you who don't know, Dale Carnegie started his courses 113 years ago. And the flagship is still running today, a little bit different than it was 113 years ago.
Sure.
But when I went through the program, it enlivened me in a way, like built my confidence, my ambition. And it was real interesting. I was married in college, and I turned to my wife when I was done with the course, and I said, what did I get out of this? And she goes, well, you have your ambition back. You know, because life kind of knocks you around and you have to be resilient. And that course just re-stoked my confidence and my ambition in myself. And in fact, she said, you're now more than ever the man I wanted to marry.
Wow.
I thought, okay, I need to work for this organization. And so I have for the last 31 years.
Wow, that's amazing, 31 years. Is there anything from those 31 years, just in general, like that you reflect on that was like a pivotal moment of your career or just anything that come to mind that sticks out in 31 years doing this?
You know, I was sitting in a conversation. So one of the things we do with Dale Carnegie is that we do development for individuals, right? So they have courses that they go through. And somebody came up afterwards, one of our classes, and he said, I just want to tell you something. I didn't tell the group, but when I first started this course, I was contemplating suicide. Like I didn't know what I wanted to, like my future. And he goes, this changed my life. Now that's pretty extreme, but over and over again, I hear people talk about how the course was transformative. It was an inflection point for them. And that keeps me going, like all the way through. So I started in Colorado, and then I moved to Nashville and kind of started that organization up. And then they asked us to go in live in Atlanta. And then 3 years ago, they asked us to come and rebuild Orlando, because our team is so strong around this idea that you have to activate and unleash people's potential. Because we believe that everyone has inherent greatness. And if we can help that flourish and that be unleashed, then it's amazing what can happen for the individual, but more so for the people that work in organizations. Because think, as an organization, if all your people are living into their inherent potential, their inherent greatness, it's amazing the results you can get.
Love that. Is there a book that or resource from Dale Carnegie that you feel embodies that the most, or is that more like the courses and teachings?
Well, I mean, the most famous Dale Carnegie book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like that's if you ask people about Dale Carnegie, they often know that book.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it was written in 1936, one of the best-selling nonfiction books of all time, right? And I think the thing about that book, interestingly, Dale Carnegie wrote it 25 years after he started his course. So for 25 years, he did research on what connects people and what helps people be successful and how they can engage with people. And so then he wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that over the years has been translated obviously into a ton of languages, but that kind of embodies what we're about, you know, as an organization. And if you read the book, you can see it's all about the other person. It's all about being genuine. It's all about seeing the greatness in others and connecting with people in that way. So it's still a timeless classic.
Absolutely. So in summary, or in simple terms, like how do you help people then?
So what we do is we do experiential training and coaching. So for us, if somebody or an organization says, we're not getting to where we need to be in terms of our goals or metrics, or an individual says, I want to take the next step. We have experiential training where they come in and they go through a very systemic process that we've developed that helps them unleash that full potential for themselves, and in some cases for their leadership, for their presentations. It really unlocks that for them. But it's all in an experiential way, because it's hard to read yourself into greatness. It's hard to listen your way into greatness. You have to do. You have to do.
Sure.
And that's what our coaches are really good at. And so sometimes that is one-on-one, like with an executive, you just need somebody to work with them one-on-one. We do that quite a bit. Often it's with a group of people. Sometimes those groups of people are everybody from the same company doing it together, which is amazing. Sometimes here in Orlando, we have a collection of individuals that'll come together from different companies, different situations, and they'll go through that together. But at the end of the day, it's all about how do you take that next level in your leadership, in your presentations, in your confidence.
And let's talk a little bit more about through your career, like any struggles or any form of adversity that you had to overcome that just comes to mind, if there's something that kind of sticks out.
I mean, it's a variety of things. I would say two. So the first one, so I run and operate the business. It's a franchise. 2008, the financial crisis. And I still go back and look at my books, and I don't know how I kept the lights on. But I remember sitting there, and it's really a gut check. Do I believe in what I'm doing? I'm having to put my payroll on the credit card. I'm having to pay anything I can just to get to the next month. And for me, what we leaned into was this strategy. It's actually a Dale Carnegie quote. He said, life is a boomerang. You tend to get what you give. And so at that time, when we were very much kind of struggling to keep the lights on as a company, I said, well, we're just going to give it away.
Wow.
So we did workshops, we did coaching, we did whatever we could do for people to help. Because I figured that if we gave it away, like if we gave value, it would come back. And we had that one down year in 2008, and then we grew every single year until 2020.
Amazing.
That was the second one. 6 years ago this month, when the COVID, obviously the pandemic, and Nico, 98% of my revenue at that time was in-person training. And as of March 15th, it was illegal. You couldn't do it. All across the world, like our entire revenue stream just disappeared.
Wow.
And so I remember at the time, not just for my own areas of operation, but I'm very good friends with the CEO of Dale Carnegie. And so we're on the phone talking, like, what do we do? And for us, it was changing our paradigm, because it was always this in person. And we thought, how could we take this and make it live online, make it live in an interactive way?
Sure.
And so very quickly, we learned how to take that interactive virtual experience to do the same thing. In fact, interestingly, our customer scores went up during the pandemic. Now, I think part of that was because everything else was just so bad.
Sure.
It was so boring. But what we found was that if you could engage people and they could be active, and then even in that environment, they could still learn and grow. So that was a huge gut check for us. Two of them, right? The first, the financial crisis, but then the pandemic. Interestingly, we leaned into the same strategy. So we did workshops on how to deal with stress during the pandemic. We did workshops on how do you deal with stress? How do you be resilient? How do you keep going? And thousands of people were like online. I broke WebEx one time. We like totally busted it.
Nice.
But I was sitting in my spare bedroom on a couple of Amazon boxes doing a summit, because we were just trying to give, like, how can we help people right now?
Yeah.
And again, same thing, right? We continued to grow afterwards because people remember, right? When you do something good for them, it'll come back.
Love that. Love that. What kind of keeps you most excited about what you guys are doing?
So doing it for 31 years, I love moments like this week when I get to work with a client directly. But we have a whole team of people now, and to see them grow and flourish and be able to be super successful in their own right, that keeps me going as a leader.
Sure.
Because other people are successful. It's the ability to not be about yourself, but when your team can be just as successful or more so than you were, that to me is a great sign of leadership when they can surpass you. That keeps me going.
Absolutely. Love that. Team player.
100%.
When it comes to any milestones or achievements, what's something that you're most proud of?
Two things come to mind. The first one was Dale Carnegie has about 250 operations around the world. And all the heads of the operations choose each year to give an award to one person. It's called the One Carnegie Award. And it's about the person who gave the most to the network. They didn't take it for themselves, but they gave the most to the network.
Okay.
And when I received that award from my peers, that was a moment of not just my own success, but rising tide lifts all boats, right? People were saying, you helped everybody. And to me, that was a tremendous honor to receive that award. The second one was, actually, I'm going to give you three. Okay. All right. So you should never enumerate before you start because you never know. The second one was a couple of years ago, we received what's called the Founders Award. And it's for the one franchise that's the best in 5 categories.
Wow.
Customer response, we've got the highest net promoter score in North America for our franchise. Growth, market penetration, revenue. I mean, there's all these calculations that's given to the top franchise. And we received that a couple of years ago. And to me, that was a great acknowledgement of building a team.
What do you think attributed to that success?
The net promoter score. I tell my team it's the most important award that we can get is the one that's given by our customers. Net promoter score is tracking. Would you recommend this to someone else? And you only count if they give you a 9 or 10 out of 10.
Sure. What do you think attributed to you guys getting 9s and 10s? Like, why do you think your guys' team or franchise, if you will, succeeded so well?
Just a passionate, overwhelming focus on the customer and it being about them. It's not about us. It's always about them.
Is that a culture thing you'd say? Was that instilled from top down, or like where do you think that starts with your guys' company?
Well, I do think it starts with Dale Carnegie himself. Like if you look at How to Win Friends and Influence People, half of the chapters have something like the other person talk in terms of the other person's triumphantly to see things from the other person. So it's very oriented towards that anyway. I think as our team looked at it, training is always an optional expense. And so we have to make what we're doing so valuable that we have what I call a ridiculous return on investment. Ridiculous return on investment. Whatever they pay us, they get back so much more. And that's a culture that we create within our team.
And that's awesome. Did you have one more share, or was that it?
I did.
Please.
Well, it goes back to people. I have my partner now, Kara. She started as an intern 14 years ago with my organization. She literally was in the same office behind me.
Wow.
And now she's a partner. She was the #1 salesperson in the world for Dale Carnegie. She gets called on all kinds of global committees to work for the organization. And again, to see someone who started there to where she is now, that's pretty cool.
Incredible.
That gets me going.
That is incredible. Wow. These last 3 will kind of fly through, but
okay.
What's your vision for 2026 and beyond? Like, what is the future? What do you hope the future looks like for you and the team?
Yeah. So, there's a couple of areas to that. Let me talk about Orlando.
Sure.
Right. So there's been an operation in Orlando for decades, but at COVID, during that time, like where we flourished in some of our markets, the market here didn't. And so Dale Carnegie said, can you come in, and work? And so we started hiring team members like Hakar Torres, Ewan Perry, and these individuals are now becoming Dale Carnegie for the Orlando market. And so part of my vision for 2027 is that Orlando really sees us as a resource that's going to help them get to where they're going. Like we can partner with people to make that happen. And so really that growth in terms of impacts in the Orlando and Central Florida area is certainly part of that, certainly part of that vision. I think the other element of it is again, it goes back to my passion of seeing my people succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So Dale Carnegie, were very recognition oriented. And so there's various awards that people can get for doing certain things.
Sure.
But to have my team all get medals at our annual convention,
Okay.
that would be a huge win for me. I would be so excited because they're succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then is there anything unique or anything that stands out about the line of work you do?
I think what's unique about Dale Carnegie is there's a lot of places you can go to figure out things to do. You can read books, listen to podcasts, you can watch YouTube videos, you can talk to ChatGPT. I mean, you can get a lot of things to do. What we do that's unique is what we call the emotional change that paired with behavior change equals performance change. So if you want something to be different in your company or for yourself, yeah, there's things you can do, but who you are is even more important. It's the fuel that drives the behaviors that allows the results to be accomplished. And so I think that combination is what makes us unique.
Awesome.
Is the emotional change plus behavior change that drives performance change.
Love that. It's a good formula.
Love it.
And then how can someone reach out to you or get involved with what you're doing or even work with you? What's the best way to reach you?
Certainly you can connect with me, right, on LinkedIn and so forth. I think in Orlando, touching base with Akar Torres, who is kind of leading our team down here, would be the best way.
Absolutely.
You can just connect with him on LinkedIn, and I don't know, we maybe throw a QR code or something up to
Perfect.
to kind of see
Yeah.
how to link up with him.
We'll make sure we tag Hakar, and because I've personally known Hakar now for at least, I don't know, 2 years. I see him at all the events, so
Yeah,
he's a mover and shaker here in Orlando. So.
100%, and he's somebody who really embodies what we're about, which is when you live into your full potential and you tap your inherent greatness, it's not just yourself, but it's everyone else you're around becomes better.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else just for, say, last 30 minutes, or 30 seconds, I mean, that you want to touch on? Or do you think you covered a good amount of stuff?
So I'll end with the Dale Carnegie quote.
Please.
How about that?
Nothing would be better.
One of my favorite Dale Carnegie quotes, he says, "Today is life, the only life you're sure of. Shake yourself awake. Get interested. Let the winds of enthusiasm sweep through you. Live today with gusto." So the way I like to think about that quote is, how can I make today an amazing yesterday? How can today be so amazing that tomorrow when I look back, I'm like, wow, look at that. Let's do it.
Cheers to that. Mr. Allyn Walker, thank you very much.
Absolutely, Nico. I appreciate it.
Awesome.